Om Namo Narayanaya. Let's talk about the upcoming eclipse that is taking place on September 7th. My name is Aurélie and this is Vedic Astrology Sidereal Zodiac. Now, eclipses come twice a year. And whenever they come, whenever eclipses are taking place, we know there's going to be what? Agitation, unexpected event, right? Rahu has this impulsive quality, has this energy of unexpected things coming into our life, which gives us this kind of shock factor, okay? So unexpected turns of events, things that, you know, were supposed to happen are getting cancelled or getting shuffled around, new opportunities, old opportunities, and there's a lot of agitation. Rahu also represents our ahamkara, which is our sense of I, and sometimes it can be always on social media, it gets really loud. Everyone wants to post selfies, everyone wants attention. It's almost like we get drawn into Maya. We get drawn into this world. It's a time where we have a little bit more of this illusion that is kind of shielding us, okay? So the first eclipse that is going to take place on September 7th, it's going to be visible in many places, and as you can see right here, and it is a moon Rahu conjunction. It's a full moon. It's a lunar eclipse, it's a full lunar eclipse, and it is a moon Rahu conjunction. Now, again, we talked about a little bit of this extra airy energy, changeability, shock factor, over the collective mind, like this like agitation state. We're definitely gonna see some of that. If you're feeling it, if it's falling right over your moon, over, your ascendant, it's going to be really strong over your head. Just stay grounded, right? Again, we said agitation, changeability, so stay grounded. Be with your meditation, stay grounded. Know that some people are going to get really affected by the eclipses, okay? So have patience while driving, have patience if people are acting a little funny, strange. I don't recommend anyone making major life decisions in this time. This eclipses are what? They're bringing shadows to the moon and the sun, right? Basically, that's what's happening. The moon and the sun are going into shadows. And in our lives, when we're making decisions, we want light, we want truth, we want clarity, right? And that's the opposite of the eclipse, which is shadow energy. Now, shadow energy isn't always bad. Ketu, Rahu and Ketu are the two nodes of the moon where the eclipses are taking place. And Ketu is deeply spiritual, will take you away from Rahu, from the ahamkara, will take you towards spirituality. Eclipses are really difficult to understand and predict and tune into because they have this elusive energy. So sometimes they can bring about fame, popularity. If you were born very close to an eclipse time, this is a very like karmic moment in time that sometimes can give you things too, And in general, this is a time where I don't recommend starting new things. Now, to go on a holy pilgrimage, on a spiritual pilgrimage, it's not a bad time. It could be a little risky. Just make sure you're doing nice practices. And, if you're going on a pilgrimage, you're probably doing your meditation anyways. So it's an okay time to do things like that. But again, major decisions, buying a new house, making a move, because the impulsivity is strong, because both the sun and the moon are going into shadow, it's not a recommended time to make big decisions. So stay grounded. If you have ideas, things you want to create that are coming up during the eclipse, you don't have to discard it. You can write it, you can journal about it. And the recommendation is wait until after the second eclipse, which is going to be on September 21st, okay? Wait until we're out of that window and sit with it and see how it's landing on the other side of the eclipse, and if you still want to move forward with those ideas, those plans, and just be outside of this torment, a little bit stormy shake up energy, eclipse energy, okay? So This lunar eclipse on September 7th is taking place in the Sidereal Zodiac. Again, this is Vedic astrology, in Aquarius, okay? And the next, and it's actually in between nakshatras, because it will begin on a nakshatra and finish on a different one. So we usually say that for 6 months to a year, these nakshatras aren't eligible for muhurta. They become a little bit like spoiled, inauspicious. But for our personal lives, you know, this is most important. This is more like rules for Jyotishis when we're doing muhurta than for our own personal life. But just be aware it's taking place in between nakshatras, and then the solar eclipse that's coming after that is going to be with Ketu, and it's going to be a deeply spiritual time, because it will be a dark moon, which always happens on a dark moon with a solar eclipse, but it will be a dark moon with Ketu, sun coming to Ketu, the node of spirituality, the node of letting go. Sun is the light of the soul. And when the two come together, there is this beautiful sambandha for deep meditation, letting go, releasing, okay? And that's taking place on September 21st, the Sun Ketu solar eclipse, which won't be visible in many places. The lunar eclipse, though, is going to very much so be very impacting many, many, many people here in India, here in Nepal, Europe, Russia, as you can see from the map. What else to tell you? All right, so we went over the eclipse window and not making too many rash decisions, be a little mindful, let people do their own thing. If they're feeling triggered by this eclipse, don't take things too personally. Expect that social media gets a little crazy and loud, and everyone gets loud, and pay attention to this ahamkara energy, this being drawn into this kind of, selfie culture, which I have no judgment. I post plenty of personal photos too, but just pay attention to that, as it's just interesting to notice for our own awareness of noticing the world and understanding the nodes of the moon, Rahu and Ketu, and what is ahamkara. And so notice that. All right, so Kumbha, this moon will be in, this moon eclipse is going to be in Kumbha in Aquarius. Now, something really, 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 really important. Pitru Paksha is beginning. All right. Once in a while, Pitru Paksha, which is the 2 weeks of the ancestor, the 2 weeks of the worship of the ancestor, where it is said that all the spirits roam the earth and the veil becomes thinner and thinner as we get close to this new moon, is taking place, is aligning with this set of eclipses. The eclipses are moving backwards throughout time, so slowly and slowly they're going to be edging towards summer. Every year there's a cycle of the eclipses, right, that are happening at different moments in time, and because of our movements. So right now the eclipses, and last year was the same, but this year again, we're seeing the eclipses fall during this festival, during the festival of the ancestors. So just know, September 21st is this dark moon, is this solar eclipse, but it's also the dark moon of the ancestors. It's a very mystical time, a very special time, also a time to be mindful of. Mindful of what, if there's, new people coming into your life, mindful of gifts that might be given to you, to be a little cautious. We say all sorts of spirits roam the earth, and sometimes, just like we talked about eclipses being a potential moment in time when you're given blessings for some, but for some others you'll be given obstacles and difficulties or karmic knots. But we say that during the 2 weeks of the ancestors, they can come to give you blessings. They can also come to shake things up also for you. And again, it depends on your own personal karma with your lineage. But anyways, the one thing I can tell you is that we can all benefit from doing a little something for our ancestors during this time, especially as we get closer to the dark moon, which is the moment in time where we do these offerings. And what does that look like? you could just sit at night, light a candle. If you have loved ones that have gone and passed, for me, for example, my stepfather, it's almost been 5 years, right? This is a time where I'm gonna sit and think about all of the lessons he taught me, the pep talks he gave me. I'm gonna think about how his influence is a part of me today, is also like living within me, and how I'm carrying a part of him and his lessons inside of me, and how I honor all the parts of him that are within me, and how I give him love and compassion. And I'm going to think of a few resentments that I may have, and try to bring this energy of forgiveness, of letting go, and share my love, okay? And light a candle, and sometimes I'll do that with incense. You don't need to know very elaborate practices to tune into that river of offering a prayer, offering kindness, offering compassion, okay? Now, if you do want to do a very traditional Vedic, it is called Tarpana offering. I'm going to put the link below, and you can go look at what it looks like. It's not so, it's actually quite simple. This Tarpana is simple to do. And it requires you getting a few things for the offerings. It's traditional, and it has beautiful invocations. It has some Sanskrit, so but it's pretty approachable. So have a look if you want to do a formal like Tarpana offering to the ancestors during that time. And it's fine if you're just having a picture. If you do have a picture, again, you can do the candle, you can do a few prayers. What's traditional in India is that we offer water to pacify it, and not food, just water is traditionally offered. But again, you'll see in the Tarpana. Have a look, that way you can get a sense of what is being offered and what the prayers look like. I think it's a great example to tune into that energy of the ancestors. Okay, so the ancestors, time of the ancestors will last for 2 weeks. We'll begin with the lunar eclipse, we'll end with the solar eclipse coming up after that. So this is our September. You know, it's going to be quite a journey. Again, I think always the best advice when we talk about eclipses is, again, to stay really grounded, and really strong within yourself, and patient, and just allow for whatever needs to unfold, to come, for the good, the obstacles. We invoked Ganesha at the beginning. Ganesha is great protection during this time. So if you have your Ganesha, and we just had a beautiful Ganesha Chaturthi, but if you have any practices, any mantras, or you're listening, I'll put a mantra of Ganesha in the links below. Listen to that. Get close to this Ganesha energy, who's whenever there's Ketu is really strong, you have to tune into Ganesha, because it's Ganesha sits at the center of Ketu. Whenever there is Ketu, there is Ganesha. So and Ganesha is really important for eclipse energy. So make sure you do your mantra if you have a little Ganesha at home, right? Do your offerings, tune into that energy. All right, eclipses. I'm putting together a beautiful written report, which is probably my most I'm putting together a beautiful eclipse report. So if you're signed up to the newsletter, you will be receiving that. If you're not, you can still sign up, and I'll make sure you'll get it. It's almost ready to go. I'll still have maybe a day of work left, but it's nice. Because there is so much information between Pitru Paksha, between the lunar eclipse, practices, what to listen to, what to invoke. There's a beautiful mantra on Narasimha, which is traditionally invoked before we do our meditation during the eclipse. So sometimes it's easier when there is so much information when we talk about eclipse, which there is so much information. It's easier to have it all written like a beautiful guide, so you can sit with it and kind of return to it. So you have that nice guide with you. So yeah, the newsletter link is going to be below, lots of links below, and be well.